Hey everybody, welcome back to Thrifting Tiger. Today we are going to be going over the $5 update for the month of April. If you guys are new here, my name is Gary, also known as Thrifting Tiger. I am a part-time reseller. I started this $5 challenge back in November of 2023. The point of the challenge was to show you guys that you can start with just $5 and make your way up to $1,000 in profit. Just to give you guys a quick recap, at the end of January, we had $97.02 in our budget. We started with just $5, like I mentioned. We bought the Black Rifle Coffee Company hat, sold it for $30. At the end of February, we were able to get that budget up to $222.15. At the end of March, you guys saw we got up to $429.76. So let's take a look at what happened in the month of April. So starting things off with April 1st, we ended up going to a Goodwill. They were running a promotion day for VIP members. If you guys don't know, here in Minnesota at the Goodwill, you can sign up for the reward program, which is their VIP members. Sometimes they will send out discounts or coupons via text message or via email. And on this day, they were doing a 40% off of your purchase as long as you spent $40 or more if you were a VIP member. So of course, I had to buy enough stuff to make it worth it to get that 40% off of your entire purchase. I ended up spending $49.75 on everything. That's after the discount already. I ended up buying 8 items there. It wasn't a whole lot of like home run hitters. A lot of it was bread and butter items and a lot of it was clothing. A couple of the highlights were these pair of Nike Invincible Run shoes. I bought these for $8 and I think it roughly goes for about $40 to $50. Also got this very cool FootJoy golf rain jacket. Only paid $6.65 for this jacket. It roughly goes for about $30 to $35. Then also bought a pair of Magnani shoes. You guys know I've bought Magnani before. It's not like a quick seller, but when it does sell, it usually sells for pretty good money. Ended up paying $9.05 for this. I think maybe it goes for about $40 to $50. Next sourcing day was actually on April 4th, which is a Thursday. We ended up buying a total of 12 items there for a total of $90.60. What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday today. You know what that means. We're going over to the Unique store, and they do have 25% off my purchase today. Hopefully we can find some good stuff for the $5 challenge. So I've actually got these New Balance 608s here. I actually bought these from Hustle at Home Mom. I've had these for a while. I have not worn them yet. They are brand new. I think today we're going to break them in, cut the tag off, wear them. If you guys don't know the 608s, these are like those dad shoes. This might be the year where they make a comeback. I bought these on Whatnot from Hustle at Home Mom. Let's go do some thrifting. Jeez, look at this giant thing. Found one item so far. This is iOmega Zip 100 drive, $10.99. I did plug it in, it does work. Everybody found this right here. Rodent Professional Rotary Toothbrush. They want $20, and this is actually new sealed. Saw comps on this go for like $100, so pick that up, 25% off as well. Look at this, guys. They got the 608s here, $16.99. No insoles though. I did not see much at all in the shoe section, so we're gonna go to the clothing. Just found this polo shirt, Guinness. Official merchandise, $9.49, and it's new with tags. Kind of a cool polo shirt here. It's a size large. Might give it a try. See, 25% off, so it'll be like $7.50. Found some pants over here. Pair of Free Flies. Never heard of these before. They want $8. Looks like it's going for about 25 to 30 on these. I also found Polo Ralph Lauren pants, brand new. $8.49. Some other pants too. I'll go over it later. There's too many to go over right now. Some like Tommy Bahama new with tags. I think it was a Vineyard Vines on the go pants. Yeah, still going through the pants right now. On this day, we also stopped by a Salvation Army as well as a Goodwill. At the Salvation Army, we only bought one item for $7.99, and they were these Noble CrossFit shoes. At the Goodwill, we spent $13 on one pair of shoes as well, and these were a pair of Nike Kobe's actually. I don't know exactly which model this was, but it had like a frog on the back. It was like a nice, cool, like blue color. Unfortunately, it didn't have a whole lot of tread left on the bottom, but Kobe's still sell no matter what condition, as long as it didn't have like any major rips or tears. But like I said, I spent $13 on this. So after the first week, we spent a total of $161.34 on sourcing. So during this week, we ended up selling 6 items only as far as part of the $5 challenge goes. We sold a pair of Hoka Bondi 7s, part of the same haul that we got from the previous month. Spent $4.34 on this and sold for $30 plus shipping. Next, we sold another pair of Hokas. These were part of the same haul. Bought these for $11.24, and this one sold for $49.95. Next, we sold these 5-finger shoes. They're like water shoes. Didn't have actually a lot of tread left on the bottom. It was kind of slick, but it still sold for $30 plus shipping. We ended up buying these the same day as those Hokas actually, and we paid $10.12 for these. We ended up selling another one of those Louis Vuitton boxes. I picked a bunch of these boxes back in January. Paid $4.20 for this and sold for $15 plus shipping. Next up, we sold a pair of Doer pants. Paid $9 for these at the Goodwill back in February, and these sold for $26 plus shipping. And rounding off the week of sales, we sold these UFO slides. If you guys don't know UFOs, they're actually a really good sandal brand to look out for. They're like these recovery sandals. I actually bought these at the Salvation Army the month before, back in March. I only paid $5.99 for this, and little did I know there was actually a tear on these, but they still sold for $19.95 plus shipping. I did put that in the description as well as the title, so the buyer is well aware of it, and I never got any issues with it from them. After fees and everything, we were able to get back $158.69. All right, moving along to week number 2. On April 11th, we ended up going to a garage sale as well as the Salvation Army. Spent a total of $21.87 at the garage sale. Yes, it's a weird number, but let me explain. I spent a total of $25 actually. I ended up keeping one item for myself. There was a bunch of like golf stuff here. Didn't pick up anything huge or anything like that. I picked up actually a lot of head covers. They weren't in the best shape, but I still thought that I could probably sell them for a profit. Ended up picking up like 5 to 6 different head covers, I think, and then 2 different like golf towels. There's a really cool Masters Augusta National golf towel that I ended up keeping for myself. Roughly each item was about $3.13 is what I calculated, which is why that was subtracted out. But most of them were like these ping head covers. They're older ones. Roughly these probably go for about $10 to $15 a piece. We also stopped by the Salvation Army and picked up one item there only. It was a pair of New York Yankees like MLB chunky shoes. I've actually never seen these in the past. I didn't even know MLB made like official licensed shoes. It was kind of a smaller size. It was a size men's 8, but I ended up paying $9.99 for it. I think it roughly goes for about $50, maybe even $60. And then on April 12th, we ended up going to a Plato's Closet as well as a Savers. At the Plato's Closet, they were actually running their clearance sale of 70% off additional of the whatever the clearance price was. I ended up buying 5 items there for $16.50 only. It wasn't anything too crazy here. Most of them were pretty cheap items. Maybe get like $15 to $20 a piece, so more bread and butter items, so nothing too crazy. And then at the Savers, we ended up buying 2 items there for $18.53. Pair of Prana pants. Don't pick these up too often, but $9, 30% off. Decent shape. Hiking pants. Probably goes for like $20, $25. And then also found these jeans, these Raleigh denim jeans. I've actually never heard of these. Button fly. They do want $17.49, but I did see comps go for like $30 to $40. Bought a pair of Prana pants for $6.29. But then we also bought these Raleigh jeans. Took a shot of these, never heard of these before. Paid $12.24 on these. These were also salvage jeans too, so salvage does a little bit better. You can actually take a look at the inseam of the leg opening to see if it's salvage or not. Typically you'll see like this red line on there with no additional like cross stitching there. So we spent a total of $66.89 on all of our sourcing days for this week. Going over to the sales sales for the week. We start things off on April 8th with 2 sales. Both of these were clothing pieces. The first one is actually this Sims puffer vest. Bought this for $8.99 back in March, and it sold for $38 plus shipping. Next up was this Holderness and Born polo shirt. This is a great brand to look out for. I actually bought this in April, at the beginning of April, when I went to the Unique store. It was part of that haul, paid $5.84 only for this polo shirt, and it sold for $39.95. On April 9th, we ended up having 3 sales this day, starting things off with the Skechers Y2K sandals. I've mentioned these in the past, definitely a style to look out for in the wild. Doesn't just come in Skechers, I've picked them up in Doc Martens as well. Bought these for $9.99 at the Salvation Army back in March, and these sold for $58 plus shipping. Next up are actually a couple of Peter Millar white pullover zip long sleeve. I bought one of these back in March, and the second one was actually in April, at the beginning of April. Paid $7.87 for each one. One of them sold for $33 plus shipping, and the second one sold for $34.95 plus shipping. Moving along to April 10th, we ended up having 2 sales that day. One was this Fox Racing women's red hoodie. Bought this at the Salvation Army in March for $5.49, and it only sold for $12 plus shipping. Figured it was cheap enough for me to buy it because I know Fox racing motocross stuff actually does really well. So I took a shot on this hoodie because it was, I think, 50% off at the Salvation Army at that time. $5.49 into $12. Still making some profit there, but nothing too crazy. And then we ended up selling this Omron, pain relieving, some sort of device here. It was new in the package, which is good. I picked it up from Goodwill back in March for $9.72, and it sold for $30 plus shipping. Rounding out the week on April 14th, we had 1 sale. It was this Arizona Diamondbacks jersey. It wasn't just any regular jersey. It was actually a promotional jersey from a casino in Arizona. Bought this from the Unique store for $7.79 back in March, and it sold for $33 plus shipping. After all the fees and everything, we were to get back $252.89. All right, everybody, we are moving along to week number 3 in April. This is for the week of April 15th through April 21st. During this week, we ended up going sourcing 4 different days. Pretty heavy sourcing week for sure. Starting things off, we ended up going to a Goodwill on April 15th. All right, guys, I'm at Goodwill right now and found this hat here. It's by the Farm Guren Brothers. I don't really know, but seems like it's pretty valuable. They want $7, which is already high, but it does have this front little cardboard piece too, so I don't think it's new, but yeah, check out these comps. Just found these Tory Burch flip-flops too. They want $15 for it though. Kind of dirty, but I think I can clean them up. I guess they're called the Miller sandals, so I might take a shot on that. Even for $15, it might be worth it. Tory Burch is a pretty decent brand to look out for. As long as there's nothing broken, I think it should be fine. That's all I found so far. Only bought 2 items there for a total of $22 spent. Next up was on April 18th. We ended up going to a Savers that day. Ended up spending $15.91. Hey everybody, we're rocking the Jordans today. We are at Savers. These Brooks, what are these? Levitate 6. What do they want? $17.99. I might take a shot on these actually. There's only 2 listed and there's 8 sold. Some of those are mostly new. This one's pre-owned but in really good shape. So they've been selling for $50, $60, $70 brand new. So maybe I can get $40 to $50 on these. Didn't really find a whole much else, but picked up this Ray-Ban case to add to my glasses that I bought yesterday. Only bought 2 items from the Savers. Bought this pair of Brooks women's purple runners. Paid $13.49 for this. And the second item was actually just a Ray-Ban case. Paid $2.42. Actually ended up buying this because I needed a case for the other pair of Ray-Bans that I picked up in the past. So I'm just going to bundle it with that. And then on this day, we also went to a Goodwill and paid $9 for this Todd Snyder pair of joggers. Todd Snyder actually does pretty decently. I think I can maybe get $40 for these joggers, maybe $35 to $40 on these. So paid $9 for it. On April 19th, and I'm actually just going to one garage sale, but it was a really good pickup, and it was only 1 item. Just stopped by a couple of garage sales over here. and only picked up one item, but it is, I think, a pretty decent one. It's actually a women's Carhartt jacket. It does have some stains here, which I think should be fine. Pink color. As you can see, I only paid $7.50. I just gave them $8, so women's size medium. Here's the style number. I didn't even look it up. I just bought it because it was a Carhartt hooded canvas jacket. These things always sell pretty nicely, so if you guys ever see any of these out in the wild, I highly recommend you picking them up. At least look them up. All the Carhartt stuff usually has their model on the hang tag, the laundry tag, and you can just search by that number and it should pull up via Google or even on eBay. But I only paid $8 for this jacket, and it roughly goes for probably over $150. So definitely that was a great find at a garage sale. And then on April 21st, we ended up going to two different stores. Went to the Turnstile Consignment Store as well as the Unique Store. Peter Millar. Just found these here. Oh, this was $4.50. New with tags, 40 regular. Not bad for only $12.50. $12.75. At the Turnstile Consignment, we only picked up, I think, 5 items there for $33 in total. Most of these were like bread and butter items again. And then at the Unique Store, we spent a total of $26.18 on 3 items. Anybody need a ping pong table? It's kind of a cool sign. Blatz. $90. In the men's area now, and looking at the sweatpants, just found a Viore. $10.29. Not sure on sizing. Looks kind of small. Maybe a small or a medium. There's a little bit of staining down here, but I think it can wash off. Pair of like joggers. Never seen this style before, but I think I'll grab them. Viore's great brand to look out for. Let's see if we can find some more. Well, guys, just found another one. Viore. This one is a size small, also $10.29, but I'm still gonna grab it, even though it's small size, but they sell great. Just found another one, also $10.29. We're hitting the Viore jackpot right now. All the same size, so I'm guessing it's the same person that donated all these, but 3 different Viores. I'll take them all. If you guys don't know, Viore is a great athletic brand to look out for. They actually sell better than Lululemon, so if you guys do see them in the wild, I highly recommend you picking them up, as long as they're cheap enough for you. But those are all of the sourcing days that we went. Let's go over the sales for the week, starting things off with April 15th. On this day, we ended up selling 4 items, actually. Ended up selling this Bell Staff, like Sherpa hoodie. It was like a camo print. Actually bought this back in March as well from the Unique Store. Paid $13.87 for this, and this thing sold for $130 plus shipping. Bell Staff is a great brand to look out for. They are a little bit more of a designer-ish brand. They can get faked at times, so just kind of pay attention to the quality of the material. Next up, we sold this pair of On Clouds. Bought these for $8.09, also from the Unique Store back in March. And this one sold for $35 plus shipping. Next item that sold was this Jaws Jemmy like singing machine. Ended up buying this for $8.63, thinking I would maybe keep this thing, but I ended up just listing it instead. I figured I didn't know what to do with this anyways, so I listed it, and it sold for $22 plus shipping. And then the last item that sold on this day was actually this pair of Nike Invincible Run shoes. I actually picked this up at the 1st of April for $8 at the Goodwill, and these actually sold for $40 plus shipping. On April 16th, we ended up having one sale, but it was a really good one. We sold these Lucchese men's boots. They're actually a really small size, but they still sold. Bought these for $12.60 at the Chap thrift store back in March, and it sold for $170 plus shipping. I've mentioned it in the past, Lucchese is a great cowboy boot brand to be on the lookout for. I usually don't pick up a whole lot of other cowboy boots besides Lucchese's, just because they sell really nicely and they hold up in quality. On April 17th, we ended up selling 3 items this day. First up was actually this Woostoff knife block. It was actually an under cabinet knife block. You like install it and screw it into the actual cabinet itself. Bought this at the Salvation Army back in March for $5.40 only, and this sold for $60 plus shipping. These brand new could sell for over $100. Next up, we sold these Tommy Bahama golf pants. These like navy blue golf pants. Bought these for $6.37 at the Unique store back in March, and it sold for $35 plus shipping. And the last item that sold on this day was actually this Ping head cover. Paid $3.13 for this earlier in the month from that garage sale I mentioned, that golf garage sale. And this one sold for $12.95 plus shipping. Now at this point, as you can see in the running total that I believe I have up here for you guys to see, and we still had 4 days of sales. Let's see if we can hit that $1,000 mark. On April 18th, we sold another pair of Tommy Bahama pants. These were actually white pants and they were new with tags. Bought this earlier in that month for $7.87 from the Unique store, and these sold for $60 plus shipping. Well, technically $59.95. After fees on this one, we ended up getting $54.93 back in our budget, giving us a grand total of $987.04. And then on April 19th, we sold this pair of cool pants. Paid $5.99 for this back in March at the Savers, and these sold for $25 plus shipping. And after fees and everything, we got back $22.66, giving us a grand total of $1,009.70. We hit $1,000 in profit. It took us just under 5 months to do it. Starting with just $5, we hit the $1,000 profit mark. So what now? Well, I'm just going to continue forward and finish off the month to see how high we actually got at the end of April. We still got 2 more days of sales coming up after this one. Next up was on April 20th. We ended up selling the pair of Noble CrossFit shoes. Bought these for $7.99 at the beginning of April from the Salvation Army, and these sold for $49.95 plus shipping. On April 21st, we ended up selling the last pair of the Hokas from that Hoka haul back in March. These were the brown Challenger Gore-Tex shoes, a little bit more of like a hiking shoe. Paid $5.62 for this at the Savers, and these sold for $49.95 as well. And after fees and everything, we are now at $1,103.20. All right, everybody, we are at the last week of April. We've already hit our $1,000 profit. How much more can we get? So on April 22nd, we ended up going to a Savers here. Spent a total of $18.27. Picked up 2 items here. The first one was actually a pair of Maui Jim sunglasses. If you guys don't know, Maui Jim is a really good brand to keep an eye out for. They make really high quality sunglasses. Paid $4.03 for these. Probably goes for about 45 to 50. And then also picked up these Nike Jordans. I think these are the Jordan 17s if I remember correctly. Paid $14.24 on this, and I think you could probably get maybe $70, maybe even $80 on these shoes. It's not in the best shape, so maybe 50 to 60 would be more realistic. On the 25th of April, we ended up going to 2 different thrift stores, the Salvation Army and the Unique store. I've only found 1 item really. Pair of work pants. Never heard of this brand before. Only $7.99, but I saw some comps go for like $30. Kind of a small size 30. Unique color though. Here's the symbol you're looking for, I guess. Work, pretty good sell-through rate, pretty good sales. Just found these kitty smoke alarms. 120 volt AC, low profile. Looks like they're brand new, just a little dusty, but they want $3.99. There's another one. This one's kind of discolored though, so I don't know. But look at these cups. These are crazy. Might take a shot at it for $4. Spent a total of $21.62 from the Salvation Army and $5.99 from the Unique Store. At the Salvation Army, we only picked up 3 items there. 2 of the items were actually the kitty smoke alarms, and then I also picked up a LL Bean like vintage thick kind of pair of pants. Actually paid $12.99 for it. I think I probably could get like $45 maybe. Not the best time to sell it right now, but maybe in the fall time. And then on April 28th, we ended up going to Savers. Spent a total of $29.04 there on 3 items. Hey everybody, we're back at Savers. We just found this Orvis blazer. Don't normally pick up Orvis, but this looks pretty cool. Vintage. Looks vintage, made in Hong Kong. $12.99. I do get 20% off. Here's the back side, not much in there, but it does have these leather patches, which is pretty cool. Saw some comps. Some of them go for like over 100 maybe, so take a shot on it. Some other items I picked up. Found these Hoka Clifton 4s. Older style. $18.99 though. But they are in decent shape still on the bottom. Still has some tread left. So I might take a shot on those. And then this random bag here. $3.99. I saw this dictaphone in here that might go for like 35 to 40. I don't know about the other stuff. Take a shot on that too. And then the last sourcing day for the month of April, we ended up going to the Goodwill on April 29th. Starting off with the men's clothing, found a couple jeans. First one are these diesel jeans. These are Thavars, $10.99. They look to be in good shape. As you will check the crotch area, check the bottoms, see if they're salvage or not too. You can check the inside. This one is not salvage, but I think these go for about 35 to 40. Then also found these Brave Star jeans. Never found these before. Size 30. These are $8.99. Button fly, dark wash. Again, you want to make sure you check the fly, check the crotch area, check the pockets, make sure there's no holes. This one is salvage, as you can see there. It doesn't have the stitching. Usually has this like red line here. That's how you can know it's salvage or not. It's like one continuous piece or something like that. This one's all go for like 35 to 40 as well. I'm gonna grab these two. Spent a total of $20 there and only bought 2 items. So during this week, we spent a total of $94.92. Okay, finishing off the month of April in sales. Ended up selling 13 items for the $5 challenge in this week. On April 22nd, we ended up selling 3 items this day. First one is actually this Polo Sport floral polo shirt, actually. Paid $10.99 for this at the Goodwill back in February. And this one sold for $35 plus shipping. Next up was a pair of Polo Ralph Lauren pants, and these were actually new with tags. It was just like a black pair of chinos. Paid $6.37 for this at the beginning of April at the Unique Store, and these sold for $45 plus shipping. And the last item that sold this day was actually this Callaway hybrid head cover. It's a golf head cover. This was part of that golf head cover haul from that garage sale. Paid $3.13 for this, and it sold for $9.95 plus shipping. Moving along to April 23rd, we had 2 sales this day. First one was actually this pair of Allen Edmonds dress shoes. I love picking up Allen Edmonds. I've talked about them in the past. If you can get wide sizes in these, they actually sell for even more, and that's exactly what sold on this day. Bought this pair of Allen Edmonds Whitney black pair of dress shoes for $14.99 from the Goodwill, and it sold for $79.95 plus shipping. Also on this day, we ended up selling 2 pairs of pants. They're called Bluff Works. They're actually a really good brand to look out for. They do pretty decently. Ended up buying 2 of these for $8.99 a piece for a total of $17.98 for both of them, and I sold them together because they were the same size. One was a blue pair, one was more of like a khaki brownish color, and these 2 sold as a lot for $65 plus shipping. Next up, we sold this pair of On Clouds. I love picking up On Clouds. Great running shoe brand to keep an eye out for. They usually sell for pretty decent money. Paid $14.99 for this back in March at a Savers. And these were in really good shape, and they sold for $55 plus shipping. On April 25th, we ended up selling this set of Wilson Hope Breast Cancer Awareness Women's Golf Set. It had everything from driver, 3 wood, 5 wood, 7 wood, and then like I think it was like a 5 iron down to a pitching wedge. Paid $22.75 for this set from the Chap thrift store and ended up selling it locally on Facebook Marketplace for $120 with no fees at all. On April 27th, we ended up selling one polo shirt. It was this Waggle golf polo shirt. Picked it up at the beginning of April from the Unique store. Paid $6.59 for this and it sold for $39.95 plus shipping. Now with this though, the buyer actually bundled it with a different item that did not count for this challenge, and I was also running a promotion during this time to get 10% off of their order, so we do need to subtract out 10% from this particular one. So after all the fees and the discount that the buyer got on this, we ended up getting back $31.96. On April 28th, we ended up having 3 sales this day, starting things off with this pair of Maui Jim sunglasses. So this pair of Maui Jims actually had some scratches on there. It wasn't in the best shape on these. Bought this back in February at the Savers for $3.22 only, and it sold for $18.26. Next item that sold was this pair of Kizik shoes. I actually bought this back in March, part of that Hoka haul actually from Savers. Paid $5.62 for this. It sold for $39.95. And the last item that sold on the 28th was actually this Pinehurst US Open towel. It was part of that golf haul from that garage sale, so I paid $3.13 for this, and it ended up selling for $19.95 plus shipping. And then the last set of sales for the month of April, on the 29th, we sold 2 items. First one is actually a Louis Vuitton box. Again, same box from that haul back in January. Paid $2.16 for this and it sold for $14.95. And the final item that sold for the month of April was this pair of Lululemon men's pants, size 30. Bought these for $15 back in February from a Goodwill, and it sold for $39.95 plus shipping. So we spent a total of $437.24 for the entire month of April, and our total sales for the month was $1,580.26. And with that, if we add all of the totals together plus the $429.76 from the end of March, we are now left with $1,572.78 in our $5 challenge budget. We hit our goal of $1,000. What should I go for next? Should I continue with this challenge? I think at this point we're going to end the challenge as is. Started with $5 and 5 months later we made over $1,500 in profit. Now again, this does not account for all of the taxes that I'll have to be taking out and paying for these, but even so, if you take the average tax amount away from this profit, we are still over $1,000 actually. So what did you guys think of this challenge? Did you guys enjoy this progress with me from the end of November through now? We actually had a lot more sales too that came in for the month of May. Did you guys want updates on this as well? Let me know in the comments below. We started with $5, got it up to $97 in 2 months, and then month number 5 we get over $1,500. Can you believe it? Even with just $5 you can also get started on reselling. As long as you enjoy the process, it's definitely not easy work for sure. It takes a lot of work to clean and photograph and list these items on eBay. I think I'll be starting a new challenge coming up. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everyone for joining me on this $5 challenge journey. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, make sure to like button, subscribe for more thrifting content like this, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.